Today is 999, September 9th of the, yes, September 9. So 9, and 2025 equals a 9. So it's the porthole into endings, and endings will support massive transformation. So the group and I today worked through a lot of things. Actually, took us a really long time to get through everything. And what we came up with is to do some cleansing and clearing of light workers. So one of the images I got was of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the last season, where all of the slayers that had been called upon were able to have the same power as Buffy herself, so that they could all be slaying the vampires. So that imagery in relationship to ourselves, we're going to do whatever um, whatever our history, this is including past lives, can balance today. If there's something in the nooks and crannies of our consciousness that hasn't cleared out, we want to clear it out. And that is not to say, that I'm clearing karma that you have not um, gained the consciousness of, or the awareness or the lesson from. Can't do that. That's like against, as they say in Greek, paranomo. It's against the laws of the divine. We can't do that. Otherwise, I would be God and be able to make you all enlightened. That's ridiculous. There's no way we can do that. We all have a particular journey. We're born with whatever our qualities are, our foibles are. We all know we have things that don't work out as well. Like, I wish I had a better body. I wish I had, a stronger body. I wish I had more energy. There's lots of things I would wish for. I wish I had my own hips and they weren't fake. Like there's so many things that I could wish for. That's not the hand I was dealt. So we've got to bring in the idea that we're going to take care of the body as well as we can, also taking care of the mind in the best way possible. I want to do some, innate is telling me we need to clear some of the detritus where we waste a lot of time. Um, yeah, mulling over things that we don't need to mull over. We just go through them over and over again. We'll just kind of support the brain and the lymphatic system to be able to drain out whatever keeps the brain in patterns, whether it's dust, whether it's calcification, whether it's a lack of omegas, whether it's a lack of glucose that needs to go to the brain, or oxygen. So it's your responsibility to have oxygen, exercise. So breathing, exercise, drinking water, eating properly. Which one did I miss? Sleep. You need sleep. And again, all of those vary individual to individual. So for myself, I need more sleep. You could put it down to that's my genetics, or I think I was like that when I was a kid, or maybe it's because, I do this work. I don't believe that's the only reason. A lot of other healers that work with me say it's your work, it's your work. Yeah, okay, but I think I was born with this because I was always a really good long sleeper. So it's really getting to know how your system works. We spend a lot more time finding ourselves, looking for our bliss, which is just ridiculous. You're always with yourself. What is really cool to do is figure out how this body works, and then from there look at whatever advantages and abilities you have and optimizing those. Okay. So let's start with that. We're going to look at the brain releasing some of this stuff, whatever it is you need to release. And we're going to bring in the matrix of eighth chakra, past lives, and be able to get whatever your body mind is ready to release, to move through. So you might see things, you might see stories, you might see visions, you might just see garbage moving through. You might have dealt with a lot. You might be over inundated for a moment. Just breathe if you're over inundated by imagery, which is what's happening to me right now. Just feeling too much imagery. It's moving too quickly. I don't, I'm not seeing only mine, I'm seeing everyone's. So we just want that to move out through the system and get grounded. And there we go. Beautiful respiration. So those of you, we could say some people are intentionally working as light workers. That's fine. There's some people who are unintentionally working as light workers. It's not what they want to do or go out and do, but they do have the light and they're able to share it, whether it's telepathically, whether it's through their own consciousness work, whether it's through their kindness to other human beings, whether it's raising children, whether it's just uh, being the example you want to be in the world of what you would like to see. You're the example. And we're going to get rid of some of the dross. So there's a lot of talk about NPCs. I've been saying NPC for a really long time. And when I was very young, I would look at some people and just go, there's nobody there. There's nobody home. And this was happening to me when I was in, 5 or 6 years old. And it happened a lot. And someone told me that's not nice what you're saying. And I stopped doing it. But now that NPCs are back, my memory for there's nobody there is very strong, and I can really feel how many people are not there. And what does that have to do with what we're working with? Well, um, our consciousness, if we're light workers, could program the NPC to at least be part of the best part of the world. And let's say they're reincarnated later with a consciousness. They might be, those souls could go off and be reincarnated, just like, you could have been a bug in another lifetime. You had no real self awareness, and slowly you come into human form. Well, why not? It doesn't matter what we came in as, it really doesn't. Um, Except that I am responsible for whatever it is that I came in with. So I might not be as smart as anyone else. I may not be as capable as anyone else, but I am responsible for whatever it is. And that responsibility needs to be a vibration that goes out there. So these are things you can think about is, are you responsible for your experience? Are you responsible for what you came in with? Or are you resentful, which goes to one of my favorite stories, biblical stories, is Cain and Abel, where Cain is completely resentful. So do you walk around with the mark of Cain on you? And that's easy to spot. You can spot people with the mark of Cain quite quickly. So you can spot an NPC or a zombie really easily. And you can also spot someone with the mark of Cain. And you could also spot those who are trying to, this was the word I didn't bring up in the group, but it is coming up here, which is power. Power is a tricky word because we're seeking, we often seek power. We often think, okay, I have power and I hide it. I kind of think, look, we all have power within us. We can feel powerful or feel weak. When you I'd say use a Jordan Peterson-ism, but I was doing this way before I even knew about Jordan Peterson, was when someone would say something, I'd say, how do you feel? Do you feel strong or do you feel weak? And Jordan Peterson does the same thing. So you could look him up too, which is whatever you say, do you feel strong or weak? And I think that being as simple as that helps you see where you're weakening yourself and where you have your power. Trying to demonstrate or show yourself your power feels like a little bit of validation. that you need to go into, that you want to validate that part of you, which is fine for a moment, but a few moments later, it's like, who cares about that? I have power. What am I doing to weaken it? That would be the most important. Even trying to demonstrate you have power weakens your power, if that makes sense. So here we're trying to empower the light within. How do we do that? Well, kind of shine it up, right? Like you've got a piece of silverware that's gotten tarnished, shine it up and stop putting that tarnish on. Now, you might say, yeah, but those thoughts come back that tarnish me. Yeah, they do. That's fine. Then you're going to release those again. So you start to get into the habit of cleaning that silverware daily, maybe every hour, that you start noticing where are you tarnishing what is already available, whether it's your abilities, whatever it is you can do, right? So this harkens back to the years I couldn't walk. Well, even though I couldn't walk, I still had a job I could do. I still had things I could enjoy. No, I could not enjoy everything. I could not go for a walk. No, I couldn't sit very long in a regular chair. I could sit in this chair, but sitting in another chair, I couldn't do it. All right, that's fine. But I found the things that I was able to do and that I like to do and allowed me to smile and to shine in the world rather than going off and saying, "Oh, I can't do anything. I can't walk, so my life is over." No, that's not how you untarnish yourself. So let's look at that. This is all going to be part of the brain, but we've got to get the three brains connected. So there is compassion for oneself and really the release of any type of need. We're talking about a need to validate what is already there. You don't need to validate what's already there. You do not need to validate what is already there. What you need to do is unravel what it is that hides what is already there. A nice deep breath. Let's do some tapping. And there you go. So, light workers, go out there and bring your light to the world. Don't force it on anyone. So, those of you just go, okay, I'm going to smile today. I'm going to be kind. We can always remember that even if we're kind to someone, they could spit at you. That's okay. I just go, okay, that's fine. What I need to do is have that light manifesting in the world, even if no one needs to know about it. As they say, the greatest gift is the one you give, and you never tell anybody you gave it, right? You don't have to tell them you gave it. It's a little bit weird with healing because it's good for someone to know you've healed them. But when I look back at all the people who said they were cursed, how did they know they were cursed? Well, somebody said something. Somebody told them they were cursed, whether they went to a reader, whether the person who cursed them said, I cursed you. So we have to be told that you've got somebody looking out for you. But when you receive the gift anonymously, you still receive the gift. Okay. So there's certain things people need to know, certain things they don't need to know. And yeah, that's the way it goes, right? Up and down that way. All right, everyone. Hope that was sort of as foggy, clear as could be. And see you next week. Bye.